The Prelude by William Wordsworth. Book VIII. With strong sensations, teeming, as it did, of past and present, such a place must needs have pleased me, seeking knowledge at that time far less than craving power. Yet knowledge came, sought or unsought, and influxes of power came of themselves, or at her call derived in fits of kindliest apprehensiveness from all sides, when whate'er was in itself capacious found, or seemed to find, in me, a correspondent amplitude of mind. Such is the strength and glory of our youth. The human nature unto which I felt that I belonged and reverenced with love was not a punctual presence, but a spirit diffused through time and space, with aid derived of evidence from monuments, erect, prostrate, or leaning towards their common rest in earth, the widely scattered wreck sublime of vanished nations, or, more clearly drawn, from books and what they picture and record. 'Tis true, the history of our native land, with those of Greece compared, and popular Rome, and in our high-wrought modern narratives, stripped of their harmonizing soul, the life of manners and familiar incidents, had never much delighted me. And, less than other intellects had mine been used to lean upon extrinsic circumstance of record or tradition. But a sense of what in the great city had been done and suffered and was doing, suffering still, weighed with me, could support the test of thought, and, in despite of all that had gone by, or was departing, never to return, there I conversed with majesty and power like independent natures. Hence the place was thronged with impregnations like the wilds in which my early feelings had been nursed, bare hills and valleys, full of caverns, rocks, and audible seclusions, dashing lakes, echoes and waterfalls, and pointed crags that into music touch the passing wind. Here then my young imagination found no uncongenial element, could here among new objects serve or give command, even as the heart's occasions might require, to forward reason's else too scrupulous march. The effect was still more elevated views of human nature, neither vice nor guilt, debasement undergone by body or mind, nor all the misery forced upon my sight, misery not lightly passed, but sometimes scanned most feelingly, could overthrow my trust in what we may become, induce belief that I was ignorant, had been falsely taught, a solitary who with vain conceits had been inspired, and walked about in dreams. For those sad scenes when meditation turned, lo, everything that was indeed divine retained its purity inviolate, nay, brighter shone by this portentous gloom, set off. Such opposition as aroused the mind of Adam, yet in paradise, though fallen from bliss, when in the east he saw darkness ere day's mid-course, and morning light more orient in the western cloud, that drew o'er the blue firmament a radiant white, descending slow with something heavenly fraught. Add also that among the multitudes of that huge city oftentimes was seen affectingly set forth, more than elsewhere is possible, the unity of man. One spirit over ignorance and vice predominant, in good and evil hearts. One sense for moral judgments, as one eye for the sun's light. The soul, when smitten thus by a sublime idea, whensoe'er vouchsafed for union or communion, feeds on the pure bliss, and takes her rest with God. Thus, from a very early age, O friend, my thoughts, by slow gradations, had been drawn to humankind, and to the good and ill of human life. Nature had led me on, and oft amid the busy hum I seemed to travel independent of her help, as if I had forgotten her. But no, the world of humankind outweighed not hers in my habitual thoughts. The scale of love, though filling daily, still was light, compared with that in which her mighty objects lay.